Hey, it's Nikki. Welcome back to Ranting with Ricardo. We are here for another recap review because it's my channel. I can do what I want. I tried to do this review with me on screen, and it was like, I don't know if it was like StreamYard or like my Wi Fi or whatever, but it was just like skipping and it was like chopped and screwed. And I was not trying to do the chopped and screwed remix. Yeah, I'm not T Pain. I'm not uh, Lil Jon. I'm none of them. I can't do the official chopped and screwed version. So, with that being said, I'm here for a recap review of Sistas because I watched the show and I'd be tweeting about it. And it's like I looked at how many shows I review on the daily and I was like, I gotta pump out more content to y'all and I like to talk about Sistas and I hope we could talk about it together. And on top of that, it's something to I want to say less reality and more scripted, so I don't have a lot. I don't review a lot of scripted shows. The only true scripted show that I do review is P Valley, and I'll be coming to y'all with that recap review tonight. So in about like 4 hours, I'll come to y'all with that review after I finish this one. But I don't have a lot of scripted shows, so I was like, I'm gonna pick up Sisters because I like to talk about it, and I know y'all like some of y'all like the show as well. And if you haven't seen the show, it's on BET. Tyler Perry created the show. I like it, and then there's something to be like, quit playing with my intelligence. So now I'm reviewing Sisters, picking up from season 4, episode 12. So this is season 4B. They went on hiatus in March, and because you got to film some more episodes for the season, and then a lot of people thought they were going to come back later and later than they thought, and then they dropped the show on June 1st. So now they're back, and now I'm here to do the show. Anyway, if you're new to the channel and you like the content over here, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. If you don't like the content over here and you're not new, still like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people because you may not like me, but guess what? Somebody out there does. And if you would like to get in touch with me for any type of business, you want to follow me on social media, or you want to bless me with a little something, everything can be found in the description box below and also on the ticker that's scrolling across the screen. So let's get into it. So we pick up from how the last episode ended. So the episode back in March with Fatima coming over to Hayden's house, breaking shit up because she thinks that he got Zach arrested again. Because at this point, we know Hayden is a crazy stalker who won't let Fatima go and won't leave her alone because Fatima put that good on him and now he hooked and he fiending. And I feel like I said A, so I hope I follow it with B. And B, he can't understand how him as a educated black man with a good job and possibly a little bit of money and a house lost out to a man like Zach who at one point was in and out of jail, back wasn't, I wouldn't say bad credit, but wasn't doing right by the women in his life, and had hard times and was working down to the airport. And now he trying to figure out like why she don't want me, because y'all have nothing in common, and while she put the good on you, you was not slinging that schlong like she needed it to be. And then you didn't stimulate her mind or her soul. So Hayden is, stalking Fatima, trying to ruin Fatima and Zach's lives because he just can't let go. He is a stage 5 cling master. He cling master 5,000. That's what he is. So at this point, she breaking stuff, and now she trying to figure out how this crazy stalker. I like the hug hose to death, Gary. No, crazy stalker. I should have stuck to the status quo. I should have stuck to making creme brulee. I should have stuck to being with Sharpay, High School Musical, as Hayden know each other. So we find out they know each other because they worked on a few cases together. Gary is a stockbroker or whatever, but I believe he be stealing from his clients. But that's just my opinions because you can't trust somebody like him, especially like from first season when the feds came and took everything Andy had because she wanted to, ride or die for him. Eventually she got a little stuff back, but it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And it was like, maybe y'all became friends because y'all both crazy. I don't know. And Fatima not buying it because she not buying that they worked together and then became friends, because it's just like, you don't befriend everybody else you work together. What is going on? Personally, I don't think. Hold on, we're gonna get to that. So she just breaking stuff. They not giving her the answer she want. They not answering quick enough. She breaking TVs, breaking glasses, knocking stuff off tables. And she's really trying to figure out if Hayden, like, cause in her mind, Hayden did this to Zach. Hayden is the reason why Zach got arrested again, and Gary might be in on it, and she's trying to figure everything out. And she picks up this urn. Now, as soon as she pick up the urn, Hayden like, don't do it, Fatima, don't do it. That's my daddy's ashes. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Don't do it, Miss Girl. Please don't do it. No, not my daddy. And Fatima, like the true G she is, love her. She crazy, but we got to love her. Threw his daddy ashes across the room and said, "Do you want to join him?" And I was like, Hayden, I would stop where I am because I'm pretty sure she is serious about you going to meet your daddy at the crossroads so you won't be lonely. Hello. Child, hate no dusty ass after she throw the daddy ashes and get to finishing knocking stuff over and threatening people with bats about to swing on both of these rat ass hoes. Decide he gonna call the police. Now, as he's calling the police, like the Karen he is, Zach calls Fatima, and he's like, I got arrested. I'm at the house right now, the house that he built for her and him, so they can move in together and be one. They could be Zatima and they get married and have all the little babies and everything. Trying to be a grown man out here, okay? And she asked Zach, did Hayden have something to do with this? Now Zach is confused on why Hayden would have something to do with this. He's like, no, which then makes it click in Fatima's mind that, oh, girl, she made a mistake. Hayden didn't have nothing to do with this. This was not Hayden this time. I think it was Gary. Let's be honest. I think Gary trying to set Zach up, and I feel like maybe Gary is setting Zach up because him and Hayden are quote unquote friends, or Hayden got something on Gary that Gary don't want to get out, so he doing everything he can to keep it quiet. Kind of like certain people down to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Just saying. So once Fatima knows that Hayden didn't have nothing to do with this, she like, oh, sorry about that. To Hayden, Gary, she's like, sorry, it's a big misunderstanding. Oh, and for y'all sakes, you should be happy that this was all a big misunderstanding, because I was about to return y'all to sender, and return to sender means she was about to return them to the Lord. So I'm a leave. We gonna chalk this up to a big mistake, and I might see y'all on the streets, and Hayden, I might see you in the office. And as she's trying to leave, Hayden start complaining about all his stuff being broken, and she looking around. She's like, "You might want to go and get that fixed. You know what? Don't even go and get it fixed. Leave it how it is, because you gonna slip up and mess up again, and then I'm gonna have to come back over here." Now Gary'll snitching ass call Andy, um, to tell her what Fatima did, and Andy like, "How you know she was over there? How you know what she did?" He was like, "Oh, me and Hayden are friends." Andy like, "Hold up, how did I know y'all was friends?" And he was like, "I thought you knew we was friends." It was like, "No, she don't know y'all friends," which means you either never told, not even, it's not even optional if he never told her. He just never told her they were friends, which I think that means Gary and Hayden doing some slick slide sleazy on the low, manipulating, fraudulent, scamming. They doing something. I don't trust this friendship. And he just trying to confuse Andy, talking about, "I thought you knew." She didn't know, and she didn't know. Quit lying to us. Like, quit lying to us. We don't buy it. Andy don't buy it. Fatima don't buy it. Hell, Zach won't buy it when he get told either. Oh, okay. I'm trying to read my notes and took a long ass pause, which causes. Oh, okay. I'm on the wrong section of my notes. So he also slipped in that, Fatima pointed a bat at him, and I was like, she also threatened to push you down a flight of stairs, what, 2 episodes ago? You act like this is something new. And then he's like, I enjoyed dinner. Can we do it again? Can I come back over? And I was like, no, I got company coming over. We can do lunch tomorrow. And they hang up, and Andy called Fatima to kind of like check on her and then check her about going over to Hayden's house and breaking shit up. Like who is that? Like she old girl from to play that game where she went over that man's house, took that bat and broke everything up because she found some underwear or she planted them. We don't ever know what happened over there. So Fatima tells her about Zach and Hayden and just like that whole thing. And Andy's like, okay, keep me updated on, the Zach situation and stop going over there to Hayden's house and putting hands on him and having people put hands on him because that man crazy. Then Fatima like, why he calling you? Like, what is this? And she lies to Fatima about her and Gary having dinner and how, he wanted to have dinner, but she sent him packing and she didn't send him packing. Y'all actually had dinner and you trying to fall back into him, but girl, he crazy. He almost hugged you to death. Don't do it. And Fatima was like, okay, I'll keep you updated. I see you at work. I got to go. I hear the sirens and I don't plan on going to jail tonight. So we see Sabrina down to the club slash bar, wherever it is. She dancing, she having a good time with the I don't know his name. It's the customer from last like I feel like episode 11 or 10 that, walked up on her and Calvin when they was out on a little date or whatever, and that Calvin had an issue with and tried to get all big, bad, and bold and buck at dude, and they just laughed at him. Yeah, that guy. They dancing, they having a good time, they drinking. They look like they having so much fun, and just like the melanin and the lights that's hitting the melanin, I was like, ooh, two beautiful melanated people having a good time. You love it. You love to see it. Now they both drunk, and like I said, having a good time, and he ends up dipping her, like he dips her as they're dancing, and he get him a little kiss, and I was like, okay, I see you, sir. You real smooth with it. And Sabrina feeling it. So at this point, I'm like, okay, Sabrina, you gonna go home with the man? What you doing? Like, I don't judge if you wanna, throw the coochie at him on the first date. I don't judge nobody. It's your body, and as long as you consenting, you do what you want to do. But she like, nah, she don't want to do that. Yeah, right. Come on, beautiful melanated people. Right. But she like, nah, I don't want to do that. And they like throwing around the idea. Should she go home with him? Should he go home with her? Do they want to stay at the bar and get drunker and see where the night takes them? And she's like, no, like this is like the best date I've ever had. I'm having a real good time. I don't want to ruin it. And he, like a gentleman, is like, you know what? I respect it. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna walk you home. Well, I'm gonna walk you, drive you, whatever house she ever going, however they gonna get home. I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna make sure you get into your house safely. I'm not even gonna try to kiss you. And I was like, sir, we love to see it. You're not trying to do nothing without the consent of this lady. And we are all about consent over here. Okay? But I was like, I don't think you should let that man know where you stay because you don't know him like that. But, it's a show and all I'm doing is talking to the screen. So, Sabrina, you do whatever you want to do. I just hope they stop dressing you in them first lady outfits. So Fatima goes see Zach down to the house. Now he give us some papers, and it's the papers. Whoever the lady is claiming that he's the father of her child, and now she coming after him for back child support. However, yeah, real gentleman like. He real gentleman like. We like that. A real gentleman. You don't see many of those these days. But once again, girl, I don't think you should let that man know where you stay because even if they giving Nola, she do. I mean, who dresses her? Like she dressed like a first lady, and I'm like, Sabrina, you not that old. Like you ain't got to be dressed like you the first lady. I don't even think first ladies dress like that now. I don't think they do. But boom, Zach handed papers to the lady, to Fatima from the lady saying that he the father of her child, or he the pappy, but it's just like, how's she gonna go to court for back child support? And Zach saying he don't know that lady, he didn't have sexual relations with that lady, that is not his baby. He out here still singing Billie Jean. He out here singing Billie Jean because he like, I don't know that lady. That's not my baby. That's not my kid. He like FTK. Them not my kids. I don't know them people. And Fatima's like, it might be your kid, but this is really confusing because how she go to court and get you for back child support and ain't no DNA test been had. And like I said before, I think Gary is setting Zach up. And I feel like he is setting Zach up at the behest of crazy ass, I should have stuck to the status quo, making creme brulee and a High School Musical and married Sharpay on down to the New York. Hayden, okay? That's what I think is happening. So then Zach was like, I don't know. Once again, he like, I don't know that lady. That's not my kid. And Fatima's like, well, you was out here hoeing it up. You was dipping it and doing it, and you was for the streets. You was for who? The streets. She was slinging that schlong to anybody who would take it with consent. And he like tried to play it off like he wasn't, but she was like, you was out here being for the streets before Karen. You was for the streets when you was with Karen. Don't play with me. You could have had one of them nights where you could have went and had a one night stand and didn't even remember. So that kid may be yours. You got way too many kids you're trying to put on Fatima, sir. Get it together. Now he hugging up on her, and he felt a glass in her hair, and he like, why you got glass in your hair? So now she has to admit to what she did, which she went down to Hayden's house because she thought Hayden had something to do with that going to jail again, because he is a habitual line stepper. He likes to push boundaries, and this is not the first time he's done this. And because we don't actually know if Hayden was the cause of Zach going to jail, Fatima went over there and just wrecked shop. And Zach is like, you got to calm down. You got to think things through. Like, you can't just be going over here beating on people and, breaking stuff and throwing people's daddy's ashes, threatening them that they was going to meet the daddy at the crossroads and everything like that. You got to calm down. And Fatima was like, you know what? I understand. I'm gonna go home. He like, you can stay here. She was like, it's dusty, ain't no furniture. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take me a shower. I'm gonna go to sleep because I gotta go to work in the morning. We all got jobs, okay? And she take the glass out of her hair and put it in her pocket. And he like, what you gonna do with that? She was like, hiding the evidence. Duh. Like Zach acting like he don't know how Fatima would get down, sir. Come on now. Like I get the Tyler Perry land moves slow. Like it'd be one day, like spanned over 4 episodes. But you know how Fatima would get down, hiding all evidence. Don't leave no traces behind because we not trying to do what get caught up. We not. That's not the type of life we trying to live out here. Now she leave and Zach is like, I love her. She crazy, but I love her. And I was like, yeah, that's what the love of a good woman to do to you. She'll make your ass grow up quickly. She'll make you want to actually be better and do better, not for her, but for yourself. And obviously, we see Zach doing better, looking better, and trying to get his life in order. But Zach, I'm gonna need you to figure out how many women you slept with, and then I'm gonna need you to go around and figure out if any of them women had kids, and then do a DNA test on all them kids, just so we can make sure nobody could pop up and be trying to come after your money. Because what do you have going on? How many people was you sleeping with when you was out here for the streets? Now, I don't like the Q and Maurice storyline. Like, I like Maurice, but I don't like this storyline. If Maurice was going to have somebody who wanted him and loved him and was going to be crazy about him, I wanted it to be a man who, did not steal from Maurice, did not kind of threaten him, try to steal from his job, used him for Maurice's skills and didn't reciprocate, you know. So we saw episode 11. Calvin, like, when Q got paroled to their house, even though it's just like, sir, you don't live here. Don't nobody want you over here. What are you doing? Calvin allowed dude to sleep on the couch for one night. For one night. Now, as he on the couch, he wake up and he go to sleep in Maurice's room because he trying to get them goods out of Maurice because now he likes Maurice, or so he says. He has grown an unhealthy attachment to Maurice, and now he's becoming codependent on him, which is never good, especially in a situation where y'all did not start this whole situationship out well. Sir, he was on was it meth? Was he doing meth? I feel like he was shooting up or snorting something. I don't know. He was doing them hard drugs and get stole from that man, and then held him and his coworkers up at gunpoint trying to steal from the bank, and that didn't work. And then you done went and snitched on somebody to get out early. So now you done got paroled to these people's house, and you don't know who gonna come looking for you and hurt them just because. Child, Q, get out my face. So he's sneaking Maurice's room trying to get them goods, and Maurice, they have a little conversation, and Maurice sent him right back to the couch, like, no, thank you. But, whatever that conversation was, because I really wasn't paying attention, left Maurice hot and bothered, and I'm like, Maurice, remember, he doesn't reciprocate. He is a stingy lover. He is a taker and not a giver. So remember that before you get all hot and bothered over Q. Now, the next morning, Maurice come out the room dressed for work, grabbed the pots and pans, start banging them like he Tanisha, yelling at them heifers because they kept her up all night. And he basically told Q, like, you stay here for one night, you can't stay here no more, you got to go, I don't know where you're going to go, I don't know where you're going to go, but you have to get the hell up out of here. And the problem is, Maurice, Q is paroled to y'all house. So he has to be there from the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. And he like, well, can I stay inside? No. Well, can I stay on the porch? No. You can't stay nowhere near here. Well, I'm supposed to be here from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. So, while y'all at work and doing whatever y'all got to do, I'm going to be out here on the porch waiting on y'all since I don't have nowhere else to go. He like a little lost puppy. And all I got to say is, child, get them off my screen. Now, Karen, I don't go to the OBGYN. I done took a possible false positive test. I don't know how to do math correctly. My pregnancy is a tale of make believe in a land far, far away. I don't know who my baby daddy is, who the pappy. Take her ass down to her shop. And Pam is there early because Pam want the tea. She want the information, and she's trying to give the tea and information because she knows Zach got arrested, and now she's trying to get out of Karen. Do you know why Zach got arrested? And obviously Karen don't know because her and Zach ain't friends. They not cool. He don't like that lady. All he want to know is if he's the pappy or if he's not the pappy. Other than that, don't talk to me because I got my woman over here. Okay. Now Aaron come down to the shop and he there to get Karen to take her to the appointment because, like we said, she has yet to go to an OBGYN appointment or go to the doctor to confirm by blood test that she is pregnant. She's just going off she's just going off the like Clear Blue, EPT, the dollar store pregnancy test that she's pregnant. And a false positive is always a thing. And he like, I did the math. So it could be my baby. And she was like, don't get your hopes up. Like she is praying to whoever she worship that the baby or non-baby is Zach's because she is trying to hold on to a man that don't want to be with her and that she didn't want until somebody else had him. Like, what is that? Like, you didn't want him. You was over him. You was happy with Aaron. And then the minute Zach started to move on, get his life together, and got with Fatima, now it's you want him, and then you trying to big joker Fatima, but she hit you with the Uno reverse and let you know that not only did Zach give you the password to gave her the password to one of his phones, but he tell her the truth because they got an open and honest relationship. That's how they work. That's how they get down. So it's just like, what are you doing? Why do you want to hold on to a man that when y'all was in a relationship, y'all were no good for each other? Y'all were toxic to each other. Why? Like, somebody explain that to me in the comments. If you were here in this live or you catch this on the playback, please explain to me in those types of relationships when y'all were in a toxic relationship and then you broke up and then you see them moving on and you see them doing better and now you want to get back with them. Like, he was only doing better because he wasn't with you. He didn't change for you. He changed for not only himself but for somebody else who child, I can't with Karen. I can't cuz I call her all types of names in the book. Now, she she told Aaron, "Don't get your hopes up." Aaron said, "We going to the doctor so we can see who the pappy is." And he told Dumbledina, "Come on, science is science. Come on, get your ass in the car. We going." Now Andy calls Danny and wakes Danny up because Andy is looking for a electrical technician, somebody who knows computers and cameras, to come check out the apartment. Well, not the penthouse. It's a penthouse. I think it's a penthouse. It's a nice set and everything to see if crazy ass I like to hug host to death Gary put cameras and microphones in her penthouse like Drew's husband Ralph on Real Housewives of Atlanta did to her when he had mics and cameras in the house listening and watching everybody up in there. And the person who she finds is El Fuego, the stripper. And Andy, not Danny, Andy was like, can he do the job? Like, maybe he's stripping to do this. And Danny's like, no, we went to college together. He graduated with a degree in computers. If you want to call him, call him. He might be able to help you with your situation. Now, Danny does tell Andy that, we got to get together and talk about Karen because in so many words or so little words, Danny is basically like the heifer is delusional and she won't let Zach go, and we still not sure she's pregnant, but she says she is, so we're gonna have to get together. And they decide to get together for lunch, but I was like, how is that gonna work when Andy is supposed to get together with crazy ass Gary for lunch? But we'll see how that works out next episode. Now, Sabrina and her church lady outfits come over, to talk to Danny about the date she had with the customer. And she's thankful for Danny's advice, and she is telling Danny she's right. And Danny was like, "Well, how was it? Will you go on another date with him? Like, what's going to happen with that?" And Sabrina's just like, if he calls me, I'll go on a date. I really liked him. I would like to go. And Danny, stop calling Calvin Panty Man. Please stop calling that man Panty Man. That is not right. But, Sabrina at this point is not feeling Calvin, and it's just like, can you tell that man before it's too late that you're not feeling him, and then y'all can split, like, amid. I can't say the word. I'm not even gonna try. Y'all can split as friends and nothing else and nothing more, and you like specifically have to say, I don't want to date you. I would like to be your friend, but I don't want to date you. So we don't have another issue like a Hayden and Gary situation. Thank you. Thank you very much. Then they get on to talk about Preston and how Danny's taking a step back from him, taking a step back from that situation, and just how they didn't have anything in common. And it's just like, I'm over the Danny and Preston situation. Either they're gonna be together or they're not gonna be together. Either they have something in common or they don't. But let's be clear, neither one of y'all can be upset when the other one goes on dates with other people, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, Danny does tell Sabrina about the lunch date that her, Andy, and Sabrina are gonna have to have so they could talk about Karen delusional ass. And we move on. Now Preston go down to the house to talk to Zach and help him, like move stuff in and set stuff up. And they was kind of right about Zach setting Preston up with old girl that came into Karen's shop, the customer. But it's just like, Karen, you can't afford to push no customers or turn anybody away because at one point, one of your stylists stole all your customers. And if it wasn't for Pam calling the health department on him to check his license that he didn't have, your customers wouldn't have come back. Now, Preston is like, no, Zach, because Preston's like, I don't think it's working. I don't think, the situation is working. I don't want to be using these women. And Zach was like, yeah, of course you don't want to be using these women. And Zach set, gave Preston or set Preston up to, go on dates with other women to show Danny what she's missing and showing Danny that, somebody out here in the world in Atlanta, even though in the Sistas world, Tyler Perry land, it seems so small and everybody knows each other, that somebody wants Preston and somebody would like to hop on that man and be down there to the farm with the chickens and the cows and the goats with his racist family. Somebody out here wants Preston other than Danny. And Preston is just like, he not feeling it no more because he doesn't feel right being with these women when the only person he's thinking about is Danny. And while it's great that she's mad because that means she's paying attention to him, he still don't feel right about using these women because all he could think about is who Danny, because he loved him some who? Danny. And he wants who back? Danny. He also says it probably won't work because Karen is being Inspector Gadget about everything besides who her baby daddy is. And she was on to him. And Zach was like, yeah, you gonna have to watch her because she always on to somebody. She all like she peep game and understand when somebody is doing something crazy, which works in her favor when it comes to like people like Gary and them, but it doesn't work in her favor when she don't understand that in order to confirm a pregnancy, you just can't go off the clear blue test. You have to go to the doctors to get a blood test to confirm and ultrasound, and she hasn't been to that man doctor up until Aaron decided he was gonna drive her himself. Now Jake come over and as Zach about him getting arrested and telling Fatima and Zach, like I said, as long as him and Fatima are honest with each other, there are no problems. And he was like, I told her I was honest, ain't no problems. And Jake is just like so confused and he was like, wow, me and my girl need to talk to y'all because that is confusing. But the real reason Jake came over, which I'm like, what Jake got going on over there in his household is very confusing. I'm confused. What you got going on? Maybe we'll dig deeper into his character. But Jake came over to give Zach some lessons about the SEC and everything stocks and bonds, just in case they try to come after him. He'll have the information and he would have been able to not only get the information but understand it and be able to talk the talk and walk the walk with the best of them so they won't try to come after him and his money, which is great because he got somebody that's trying to help him. But I said before, you got to watch out for Jake and Gary, but mostly Jake because he works with Gary and I feel like Gary set you up. Now we get on down to the job. And whose job it is? Andy, Fatima, the rest of them, and Hayden's job down to the law office. And Hayden was salty. I should have stuck to the status quo. I should have stuck to making creme brulee, whole high school musical, big headed. Sharpay don't want me. She took off to New York and found her another man. Oh, I was a basketball player, but now I'm not. My hairline is fucked up. Oh, hating ass is getting Fatima arrested. And as he brought the police to arrest Fatima because he's like, when you came over to my house breaking stuff and throwing my daddy's ashes and threatening me, I had cameras. So now you're going to jail and I'm pressing all the charges like a Karen, like a whole Karen. I'm pressing all the charges. I'm getting a restraining order and I'm going to get you fired. And I'm going to show you just how well the justice system works because it's going to grind hard and slow. And I was like, is that a sexual reference? Are you mad that Fatima still won't give you no more of that good stuff she got? Because, sir, she don't want you. Move on. PSA, real quick before I finish out this recap review. If somebody does not want to be with you, it is okay. If somebody does not like you, it is okay. Do you know why? Do you want to know why? Because there's somebody out there in the world who wants you. There's somebody out there in the world who likes you. This one person does not like you, does not mean you have to sit here and obsess over them and go crazy. They don't want you. You have other people out there who will want you. So if one person doesn't want you, does not mean your whole world stops and you start acting like hating. You move on with your life and you move on and you find somebody else. And if you run into the same situation, you move on and find somebody else. In the meantime, in between time, you go and get you a good therapist, you get you a life coach, and you might want to, hire you a matchmaker as well if you're having a hard time. Other than that, if they don't want you, they don't want you. You got to move on. Move on quickly. Yeah. So he talking about how he gonna get her arrested, X, Y, and Z. The police is there, and Fatima was like, unless. And he was like, what? She was like, I feel like there's an unless coming. You're gonna do all this unless. And he was like, no, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have you prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And Hayden, this is how I know he's stupid, is ignoring all signs. He doesn't realize and he's not picking up on the fact that Fatima is not scared. She's not breaking a sweat. She's calm, cool, and collected. She is giving off the vibe of I don't care. So that means, sir, you in for it because all you had to do was leave that lady alone and you could have got away with it. kept on playing with her, which resulted in you not only getting a beat down and being laid out naked on your car and pictures being taken of you, and had bruises and all that stuff, but she also came to your house and broke windows and threw your daddy's ashes and jacked up your TV and was breaking all this glass. You now have awoken her. Now I feel like what she's done to Hayden before now, that was just that was just like get like a little get back. That was nothing. But what Fatima's going to do to Hayden after this, Hayden, you might be meeting your daddy sooner than you thought, because that lady was so calm, cool, and collected that she said, "These police for me." He was like, "Yeah." She walked over there. She turned around, put her hands behind her back, and she walked out with them as after they cuffed her. She ain't make no fuss, no muss, no nothing. She didn't scream, she didn't holler, she didn't yell. So that tells me that Hayden, we gonna be praying for you, my good brother. Um, you let I hope you got your arrangements in order, because I feel like you not gonna make it out this season. And with that being said, this was a recap review. Because it's my channel, I can do what I want of Sisters. I will be back next Wednesday, hopefully on Wednesday, with a recap review of episode 13. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on and share me with your people. If you're not new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. Because guess what? You may not like me, but somebody out there does. And if you want to get in touch with me, you want to do for some business, you want to follow me on social media, or you just want to bless me with a little something, everything's on it in the description box below and scrolling across the screen. And I'll be back next Wednesday.